Google Sheets' built-in data tools can help you organize your data more efficiently. In this video, we'll look at how you can easily separate text to columns and how to protect a range, and also how to remove duplicates from a list. So let's start with separating text into separate columns. So for example, you may have a spreadsheet where you have students' last name and first name in the same cell, but you want them to be in separate cells. To do that, we first need to give some room to separate the cell out. So I have an empty column next to name so that I can have last name in one column, first name in the second column. To do this, I select the column that has the data that I want to separate. I choose the data category, and I go down to split text to columns. Here, a little box will pop up at the bottom. Sometimes it'll detect automatically what you want to do, but you also may need to tell it to separate where it sees a comma, or separate where you see a semicolon, separate where you see a period, separate where you see a space, or you may have something custom. So for example, you may have noticed that now when you export your students' data, like your gradebook data from Schoology, it's adding some extra numbers to your student's ID. If you want to separate that out, maybe you only want the ID, which is the first 6 numbers or 7 numbers, and you don't want the underscore and what's at the end, we can do the same thing. We select the column that has the data, we go to Data, and choose Split Text to Columns. Now this time it can't detect what we want to do. So I go down to my separator, and I'm going to choose Custom. I want it to separate where it sees the underscore, and you'll see right away it separates that data. Now I can delete out those extra numbers, and I'm left with just my student's ID. Something else that you may want to do is protect your cells. So maybe you shared this with somebody else, but you don't want them to be able to edit any of the scores that are on the sheet. To do that, you highlight the cells that you want to protect. You go up to Data, and you choose Protect Sheets and Ranges. Here I can give it a description like student scores. It automatically selected the range that I chose. And now I can set the permissions. I can restrict who can edit this. This will pull in anybody who has editing or viewing access to your spreadsheet. You'll see them here, and you can choose who can edit the range. You can also choose to show a warning. Instead of not letting them edit it, you may have a warning pop up if they try. The next thing that you may want to do is remove duplicates. So a time that I might want to remove duplicates, I have all this data from people taking Google Level 1, and I may want to see the different subject areas that we have. So what I'll do is I'll select the column that has the information that I want to eliminate duplicates. I go up to Data, and I choose Remove Duplicates. My data does have a header row, so I'm going to select that, and I simply click Remove Duplicates. It tells me that it removed 96 rows and 114 remain. Now I have this data that I can alphabetize if I would like, and I can see the different subject areas that I have in the course. I may do something similar with the building to find out how many people we have from each building taking the course. So for example, I select the data. I select the column that has the data, I go to Data, and I choose, again, Remove Duplicates. Yes, my data has a header row. Now let's go ahead and remove our duplicates. This time, 139 duplicate rows were removed. Now this is probably because people wrote things differently. So now I'm going to sort my sheet A to Z, and I'm left with all of the different options.